Welcome to another edition of Black Men's Digest. I'm your host, J. Anthony Smith, and we have as our special guest today, William White. So he's going to discuss the basic information regarding how do you write your own story. Good morning, Will. How you doing?
I'm doing well, brother. How are you? I'm so glad to be on your show, and I definitely want to give you a shout out for what you're doing out here, man. You're definitely making a change in the community, and a lot of brothers need what you're giving out. So I appreciate you, and it's a pleasure to be on your show.
Man, thank you so much for coming on and kind of giving the brothers an insight into your life. So give us a little bit of your background.
Yeah, so I was born and raised in Dover, Delaware, a small town. And really at a young age, I was really exposed to some situations that made me realize that my life was in my control. And being able to realize that at such a young age, it started making me think strategically about the people I was surrounding myself around, about the places I wanted to go, and the things I wanted to have that people had that my parents couldn't provide for me based on our financial situation. So what I started to do was at a young age, I started to surround myself with the families that had the things that my parents didn't have. Because all I wanted to do was to know what the secret was that they were doing that my parents weren't doing. That's all I wanted to figure out. So it was a tough transition, because as I started surrounding myself with different families and different friends, I started really hanging around a lot of white people, and I got picked on because of it. And it's silly to say that, it was embarrassing getting picked on for hanging out with white people, when in reality, I just wanted to know what it was that they were doing that my parents weren't doing. That's what it comes down to. That's all I wanted to figure out. And as I started spending more and more time with them, I started realizing some key things, and those are some key things I realized I want to share on your show today. And the first one is understanding. You don't know what you don't know. So until you actually accept the fact that you don't know what you don't know, it then allows you to freely go find out what you don't know. People don't just wake up and know how to drive a car. But after spending time in the car and after taking driving lessons and going through the driver's course, they feel more comfortable with driving a car. But at first, it's a task that seems probably impossible when you're a kid. So it's the same thing in life. If you're trying to reach a goal, or if you're trying to become something, let's just say you want to become a police officer, you need to understand that there is a process to becoming a police officer. Anybody can figure out that process, but once you do figure out that process, all you have to do is follow that process. It's real simple. It's understanding, what do I have to do to get to where I want to get, understanding the process. So once, I think that's the first step I had to realize, to understand I didn't know what I didn't know, but to go out and go find that information. And then once you find that information, once you find that process, the second thing you have to do is be committed. You have to be committed to that process. A caterpillar cannot turn into a butterfly by skipping steps of the process. It doesn't work. It will not become a butterfly if it skips steps. It's that plain and simple. It's the same with your dreams. It's the same with your goals. It's the same with the way the world goes in a circle. Everything has a process, and you cannot skip the process. If you do skip the process, you might achieve what looks like success temporarily, or you might move into a position too fast when you're not really ready to handle the situations that come on with being in that position, if that makes sense. But if you do follow the process and you are consistent, and you are committed to that process, step by step by step, you will reap the benefits. Every one of us knows what it takes to lose weight and gain muscle. It is not super science. It's just some people are more committed on a daily basis at achieving their ideal figure or their ideal weight. And they achieve the results. It's not like we don't know how to do it. We could do it if we wanted to. We just are not committed to that process. And then the next thing is, after you have that understanding and after you get that commitment to yourself to follow that process, you have to humble yourself enough to ask for help. No one on this earth is here by themselves. At some point in your day, what you do has been helped, has been configured, has been put together by someone else. So we need each other. But this is probably one of the hardest parts of the process, because humbling yourself is going to put you in a situation or a feeling of vulnerability. And in our community, vulnerability isn't looked on as a masculine trait, you know? So being in a position of vulnerability and opening yourself up to ask for help and ask for mentorship is a step that is going to allow you to miss some of the ups and downs on this journey that other people have went on before you. And when you're able to get that insight and get that knowledge from them, it does make the path that much easier. You're still gonna follow the process, but that mentorship will open up doors. It will, if you're climbing up a mountain, it's gonna find a way to put you on some wheels to get you up that mountain just a little bit more smoother. You still gotta go up that mountain, but with wheels, it's a lot better than walking up that mountain. You're rolling up that mountain a little bit. So those are the three things I'm gonna leave you guys with today, is that you seek understanding for the position you wanna be in, or the goal you wanna achieve, or the dream you have. Seek understanding. Be committed to the process once you know what it is. Do not fake yourself. You cannot be committed to something 3 days out of the week and expect to see great results. It does not work like that. When you are going for a dream, when you are going for a goal, it is a 365 process every day, committed to it. And number 3, surround yourself with mentors, people who have been down that path and people who are willing to give you insight. Do not point the finger and say you should be in their position or point at their flaws. No, ask them to spread that insight in you. Take that knowledge and run with it. If you can do those 3 things to start off, 3 things, real simple, 3 things, I guarantee you within your next week, you will start to see results. That's what I have today. I hope that was good for somebody out there. I hope somebody needed that message. And it's as everything comes to life, James. I know I've only met you a couple months ago, but I'm excited to see where all this is going, man. It's just a bunch of brothers supporting each other, man, and it's a pleasure to be in this tribe, in this circle.
Man, it's awesome. Again, thank you for your insight. I mean, you touched on some very important and valuable aspects of success. One of the things I really picked up on was to be humble. Like you said, in our community, if you're asking for help, it's seen as not being masculine. We always have that pride that I can do this myself. I'm a one-man army kind of thing. But I mean, that's important. Like you said, you have to be humble and be able to seek out advice and assistance from someone who is where you want to be. It's all about reaching back and helping one another, and that's what this program is all about. is about teaching us those tools that can get us out of where we are and take us to where we want to be. So, man, that's some great insight, great, awesome. So, we talked about, when writing your own story, and that's a great segue into you are a published author now. So, tell us about your book.
Yeah, so what I wanted to do was, and this is my first time I'm really sharing this idea, but what I really wanted to do was I wanted to really tell my story, but I really just wanted my story to be liberation for somebody else to be able to tell their story, okay? So what I really wanted to do is Make Your Own Bed. I want to be a series of books. But I wanted to be a series of books for individuals who are at different points in their lives that other people can relate to. So the second book in the Make Your Own Bed series might be about James Smith and being an older African-American man trying to shed light on the younger community. It could be book number 3 could come from a mother's perspective who is a stay-at-home mother, and she works with her kids and she's stressed and how she makes it through. But I want the Make Your Own Bed series to be a series of books that people can come to and relate to and hear stories about real life situations that might bring liberation to other people going through that same thing right now. The first book is obviously my story. We talked a little bit about it earlier today about coming from Dover, Delaware, about some of the obstacles I faced growing up, and about how I started to change my mindset and how that started to really change the course of my life. So the Make Your Own Bed series is going to just be a series of stories, hopefully giving liberation for people to know that there is hope no matter what their current situation is right now.
That sounds great. That is a great concept, basically allowing the reader to see the better that can happen for them, basically make that correlation with, that the average reader that may go out and may be struggling through something, and if they can pick up a book that basically mirrors their life and how they can overcome that can give them motivation to move forward. So that is an excellent concept, man. I wish you so much success, man. The first book is awesome. I mean, you debuted it on Amazon. It came out with great numbers, number 1 in a lot of categories. So you're definitely on the right path. So, we're definitely going to put more of your information in the comment section of this video so you can find Will and locate the book. What's the website?
You guys can follow me at www.changetobeseen.com. It's spelled out the real way, changetobeseen.com. Or you can follow me on social media at Change to Be Seen. That's on Instagram, Twitter. We also have a Facebook page, Change to Be Seen, all written out the real way.
Awesome. So again, just to recap, as far as brothers, when you're looking at where you are right now, there is hope at the end of the tunnel. If you want to make that change, you have to understand where it is you want to go. You have to be committed to the path, committed to the process, and then be humble enough to seek out mentors that can help you along the way. Don't try to do it by yourself. There is opportunity out there. You don't have to waste your time and effort in failing if somebody has already been through that pathway. Just reach out, swallow that pride, because it's not about you, it's about those that come after you. So yes. Again, we want to thank Will White, for your time, for your insight, and for your energy. We definitely wish you much success. So that is today's episode of Black Men's Digest TV. Don't forget to rate, comment, and subscribe, and look to next Friday for another great and powerful episode. I'm your host, J. Anthony Smith. Have a great week.